The rarest body features most people will never see. People with a single palmar crease have one line on their palms. Most of the world's population has two bars, also called the simian crease. This feature is found in only 1.5% of the world's population. In most cases, men are more likely to have a single palmar crease than women. This trait often runs in families.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Less than 50 people have ever had the Rh null blood type, nicknamed gold. Australian Aboriginal women were the first to be identified with this blood type. This blood type is unique and can be accepted by anyone, even people with rare blood types. Out of all the people in the world, only 3% have lines on both their hands that form an X. This is a rare phenomenon, and this feature is believed to be a sign of strong character in many cultures. Around 1 out of every 4 people sneeze when they are in the sun. This is a common phenomenon that has its name. The photic sneeze reflex is called a chew in the Greek language. Sun sneezing is a condition where saliva accumulates in a gland under the tongue. The jet can travel a few feet if you open your mouth while pushing on the gland. This process is called gleeking, and it can happen spontaneously. A person can accidentally push their tongue against the gland while eating, yawning, talking, or cleaning their teeth. If this happens to you, up to 35% of people can gleam. Less than 1% of the world's population has dextrocardia, a condition where the heart is located on the right side of the body instead of the left. Some people have a rare condition where the heart is on the right side of the chest instead of the left. This can sometimes cause all their internal organs to be on the mirror image side of their body. People who have ocular albinism only have problems with their eyes. Their hair and skin are usually lighter than other members of their family. Albinism is a rare feature, but if you have ocular albinism, it is even more unique. Scientists don't know the exact number of people with this condition, but they think it is between 1 in 20,000 and 1 in 50,000 people. You may have a tiny hole at the top of your ear where it meets the temple. This common problem affects 10% of the world's population. There are different types of earlobes. Some people have them on both ears, and some only have them on one ear. They can be big or small and go through the lobe or be just a dimple. (65% people have loop-shaped fingerprints. 30% of people have whorl-shaped fingerprints, and only 5% of people have arc-shaped fingerprints. There are many types of these. They are divided into smaller groups. Some people have 12 pairs of ribs, while others have 24. 1 in 200 people has an additional 25th rib called the cervical. Located at the base of the neck and above the collarbone. Extra ribs can form on the body's left, right, or even both sides. Most people who have this spare rib know nothing about it because it is scarce for the extra rib to form ultimately. It might look like a thin strand of tissue. You likely won't see a circular hair whorl on your head on an X-ray. Scientists think there might be a genetic link between hair whorl direction and handedness. Right-handed people have counterclockwise hair that whirls about 8% of the time. Left-handed people have them about 45% of the time. When you are asked to clasp your hands, which finger do you put on top? If it's the right thumb above the left one, you're among 50% of the world's population. 49% of people position their left thumb above the right, and a mere 1% place their thumbs next to each other. Red hair occurs naturally in about 1 to 2% of the world's population. Redheads usually have Northern or Northwestern European heritage. This is because of a genetic mutation. The color can vary from a bright copper to an auburn color, red-orange, and even strawberry blonde. Only 3 to 22% of people in the world have Morton's toe. This is a foot structure where the second toe is longer than the first. Michelangelo's David and the Statue of Liberty are examples of this unusual body feature. Some people have an eye disorder called coloboma. This is when someone's pupil is shaped differently than usual. Out of every 10,000 people, only 2 have this disorder. People with this condition usually don't have any problems with their vision. But you might know someone who does. It's not so rare. All of my teachers thought I was an unusual pupil having different colored eyes. Heterochromia is a rare condition that affects less than 1% of people. This happens when a person has 2 different colored eyes. Some people have brown eyes, and some people have blue eyes. You can also have a ring around the pupil that is a different color. This is called central heterochromia or partial heterochromia, when part of your iris is a different color. This is called dystochiasis. This happens because of a genetic mutation. It is not harmful in any way, but it can cause some discomfort if hair grows where an oil gland is supposed to be on the wet part of the eyelid. Some people don't have to worry about how much calcium they consume because they have a rare mutation in the LRP5 gene. Some people with this condition have very dense bones. This makes it hard for them to break a bone. However, there are some drawbacks to this condition. One of the few drawbacks of this condition, these people have difficulty staying afloat while swimming. Some women have a really great sense of color because they have tetrachromacy. This means that they have 4 types of cones in their eyes instead of the regular 3. This allows them to see 100 million different colors. People who have the TEC2 gene can work more and sleep less. This unusual gene lets them go through their sleep cycle in less time than regular people need. Some famous people who had this gene are Nikola Tesla, Winston Churchill, and Margaret Thatcher. All had this unusual feature. The gene basically allows a person to go through their sleep cycle in less time than regular people need. Some people have a gene mutation that helps them keep their bad cholesterol levels very low. The gene tells your body how to produce a protein that controls the amount of cholesterol in your blood. Unfortunately, only 2 to 3% of people have this useful feature. Only 4% of people have an outie belly button. This is because several factors, like the fat distribution around your waistline or genetics, determine which kind of belly button you have. Genetics play a big role in how your taste buds work. Up to 25% of the population are super tasters. They have more taste papillae on their tongue, which makes them more sensitive to certain foods like sweet, bitter, or salty foods. They also have more pain receptors on their tongue, which is why they don't like spicy food as much as regular tasters. Many people have to have their wisdom teeth taken out because they don't have enough space for them to come through the gums. This surgery is done about 5 million people a year. Out of the world's population, 35% don't have to worry about this because they don't have wisdom teeth at all. Some people are born with long muscles in their palms which help them climb trees. Even though most of us don't need this ability anymore, you can check to see if you have these muscles by placing your palm flat on a surface and touching your thumb to your pinky. If they do exist, they will protrude from your wrist. Scientists claim that Tibetans have genetically mutated to be able to live at such high altitudes. One of their genes is responsible for fast adapting to falling oxygen levels. The same gene is also linked with improved endurance in athletes. By the way, it was one of the fastest evolutionary mutations ever recorded in people. It developed in less than 3,000 years. Gray eyes are a rare body feature. Only 1% of the human population are born with gray eyes because they have low levels of melanin in the front part of their irises. Blue eyes are also not as common as you might think. Just 8 to 17% of people have them. An even rarer thing is a combination of red hair and blue eyes. If a person is born like this, it means both their parents carried these genes for a child to have. Thank you for watching.